Victim mentality is a mindset where a person feels controlled or overwhelmed, believing that either other people or circumstances are to blame for their situation. These are some of the ways victim mentality can manifest. You hold others responsible for how your life has turned out. You genuinely believe that life is working against you. You struggle to deal with the challenges in your life and feel helpless in the face of them. You feel stuck in life and tend to approach things with a negative mindset. You feel defensive when someone offers constructive criticism. You find comfort or satisfaction in feeling sorry for yourself. You tend to attract people who also blame others and complain about their circumstances. It's challenging for you to self-reflect and make changes. So, victim mentality often occurs due to a feeling of disconnection from one's power. This leads to feelings of a loss of control, feelings of overwhelm, and a constant desire to have someone to rely on continuously. Relying on one another is normal and an expected part of the human experience. However, with self-victimization, there can be a constant desire to rely on others or to blame them due to the person feeling helpless on their own. A couple of things can cause this. One of them is trauma. The experience of being in a situation where someone abused you, yet you had no avenue to escape. This can lead to the victim feeling like no matter what they try, nothing will work out. Later, after leaving or being rescued from the traumatic situation, these feelings may continue despite having been pushed to the subconscious. By this time, a habit and personality of being incapable and powerless may have already formed. These habitual thoughts and feelings could have caused a personality change. Sometimes trauma has the effect of robbing people of their confidence, self-efficacy, and a sense of self. As sad as this is, there is a way out. Our personalities are formed through repeated thoughts and feelings about ourselves, as well as the actions we take. If you desire to stop self-victimizing, you can create a change into a life where you are not only confident, but in touch with your inner power. Confidence is created through regular self-validation. Every time you achieve even the smallest thing, you need to learn to self-validate. This builds confidence over time. Write down your small and big achievements and remind yourself of them as often as possible. This will serve to remind you your capabilities. This in turn connects you to your inner power and your self-efficacy. Hence, instead of thinking of yourself as powerless against the situation, you can remind yourself of all the times you overcame through your actions. This over time builds an impression in your subconscious that you are capable, and the previous feelings of incapability and powerlessness are slowly erased. This process of self-validation is often lacking or diminished in people with that victim mindset. They keep yearning for others to validate them. In some cases, waiting to be validated before taking action, or waiting to be validated after an achievement they have made. This is a bad habit since you cannot always rely on others to do this. It should come from within. This is how you build self-sufficiency. Hence, learning to self-validate needs to be a prioritized habit for someone with a victim mindset. This opens another layer. Many times, people with this mindset suffer from low self-worth, especially in the case of trauma. Developing self-worth will require your efforts. Self-care is an important part of this. Having a self-care routine is one way to build your worth. Beauty regimens, sleep, reading, a good diet, etc. are not the only way to do this. Incorporating a self-validation routine, even when you do not yet feel worthy, is highly, highly important. Your subconscious will respond with time. An important part of healing the victim mindset is to address the fear. Take the time to understand what your fears are and write them down. After that, you need to decide that you will face your fears one at a time at your own pace. Again, this builds courage and self-efficacy. For this to be effective, your goals need to be SMART goals. S-M-A-R-T, meaning specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. This ensures that you are addressing your fears in a clear-minded way, knowing exactly what they are as well as what defeating them will look like. The time factor also builds urgency. Taking risks builds resilience and courage and a stronger sense of self. For these things to work, you also need to be aware of your environment. You need to learn to spot toxic people and narcissistic people. Sometimes traumatized people keep either getting drawn to such people or do not stop engaging them because they do not spot these toxic traits soon enough. There are people with the victim mindset who are also toxic and manipulative, expecting too much from others. If you suspect you have this mindset, check to see if you exhibit any toxic traits. They may always expect others to save them. Do you call friends to vent despite not knowing if they are in the right mind to listen or are struggling themselves? Do you expect others to stop what they are doing to attend to your needs without even considering what's already on their plate? How much have you done to solve your situation differently before feeling helpless and powerless? I know many problems take time to solve no matter how much you try. That is where you have to develop other coping mechanisms over time. You have to intentionally build self-efficacy to stop expecting to be saved all the time. This takes time, especially with how unpredictable life can be. The key to healing is one step at a time. Life is indeed not always easy, and difficult times are a common experience for many. To cope with that, we incorporate initiative, action, self-care, and rest in our lives. This way, people dealing with this victim mindset can change their lives over time. If you enjoy this video, consider subscribing and liking the video. I will do another video on the victim mentality. Have a nice day.